Good day, class. So, for today, we will be discussing about Chapter 7, which is the Information Age. Our main topic is about fake news. I told you to work by pair and search for specific issues that were later identified as fake news. So, let me hear some of the fake news that you have gathered. Miss Solanoy, can you share to us what false information you and your partner have gathered from the social media?
The 5G network uses radio waves, which is the lowest energy form of radiation on the electromagnetic spectrum, are rumored to make the people ill. It is also built upon a series of related narratives regarding the possible health and environmental impacts of 5G technology, and arguably flourish in large part, thanks to the pre-existing networks and misinformation surrounding it. As already explained, COVID-19 is not spread by radiation, but a virus that is passed through droplets, from person to person. The 5G connection is not only a COVID-19 related conspiracy. COVID-19 pandemic is not a hoax, but a worldwide epidemic that took the lives of over 285,000 people.
How about you, Mr. Perez James? Please share with us what you have searched from the internet.
During the Taal volcano eruption, pro-Duterte blogger and Overseas Workers Welfare Administration Deputy Administrator Maucausan said that Roberto only provided pandesal to the evacuees. The vice president countered by saying that it is an affront to taxpayers because the government employs a fake news peddler. Robredo has been a victim of many fake news incidents even before the COVID-19 crisis affected the country.
Now, let me hear from Miss Manong Song.
This is a fake news related to coronavirus. They say it can be transmitted through mosquito bites, but the truth is, it can be transmitted by droplets of saliva of infected person when sneezing or coughing. A person also can be infected by touching a contaminated surface that has a virus, then touching your eyes, nose, and mouth before washing your hands.
Thank you for sharing all the information you have gathered. Those fake news you've talked about made us realize that it is anywhere and we should be more careful and do not get easily fooled by those things that we just only saw from the internet. Later, we will answer and discuss some questions for us to know the importance of verifying reliable and accurate information. But for now, let us discuss about fake news and the things that we should keep in mind to avoid getting fooled by false information. According to Wikipedia, fake news is a false or misleading information presented as news. It often has the aim of damaging the reputation of a person or entity or making money through advertising revenue. In order for us to avoid being deceived by misleading information, let us know some ways to spot whether the information is real or fake. So, how to spot fake news? First, consider the source. Click away from the story to investigate the site, its mission, and its contact info. Next is read beyond. Headlines can be outrageous in an effort to get clicks. What's the whole story? Next is check the author. Do a quick research on the author. Are they credible or are they real? Next is supporting sources. Click on those links, determine if the info given actually supports the story. Next is check the date. Reposting old news stories doesn't mean they're relevant to current events. Next is it a joke? If it is too outlandish, it might be satire. Research the site and author to be sure. Next is check your biases. Consider if your own beliefs could affect your judgment. And lastly, ask the experts. Ask a librarian or consult a fact-checking site. Now, let's proceed to the discussion of your answers from Activity 2 entitled Fake Spotted. Mr. Marasigan, how does fake news come to exist and spread so rapidly? And why do you think this happens?
Through social media, it will spread like a virus, and a lot of individuals will spread and share it with others. The fake news virus maker is the trolls. So, trolls are typically real people who spread provocative stories and memes. In the broadest sense, it is partisans in political polls, be they liberal or conservative, who are more likely to believe a false statement, in part of because of confirmation bias, which is the tendency of all of us to believe in stories that validate our beliefs, and the stronger the beliefs, the more vigorous the bias that confirmation captures.
Okay, very good, Mr. Marasigan. What about you, Mr. Paris James? Please share your thought on question number 1.
I think that false information spread rapidly because we let our cognitive prejudice dictate what we should focus on.
Good idea. Fake news spreads so rapidly because of different social media platforms that is accessible by everyone. Sometimes we easily react and believe by just a piece of information we read without knowing the vast information related to that issue. Next question. How is fake news harmful? Mr. Sempino, may I know your answer?
Since some fake news may appear to be harmless or simply amusing, much of this is malicious and even harmful. Fake news is designed to influence people's opinions, behaviors, and expectations in order to influence their behavior. This suggests that if you fall into the pit of believing false news, someone else's motive is behind your views and decisions. It can also cause a misunderstanding.
Thank you, Mr. Sempino. How about you, Miss Manong Song?
News can lead to unnecessary panics. It can affect mental and emotional health of a person. Fake news changes the belief and perspective of a person. Consumers begin to doubt on what is the truth and lose their trust in the media because of so much false information, like the side effects of the vaccine in people, whether it is harmful for them or not. So they began to question if they are going to take the vaccine or not. Another example is when the goods are out of stock, so people are panic buying because they thought it is really true because of the misinformation that the media gave to people.
Great! Fake news has many bad effects to everyone, especially to the person involved on that specific issue. Hence, we should be careful on sharing information from social media unless we really know the truth behind those topics. Let us proceed to the next question. What are the long and short-term effects of being a consumer of fake news? May I hear from Mr. Olore?
In recent years, studies have shown that many people in the world cannot tell what news is fake and what news is real, which is causing confusion and misunderstanding about important social and political issues in the society. Fake news has also makes it harder for people to see the truth because it's cutting out social relationships. That is why it is important for people to seek out news which has little bias as humanly possible. Fake news has also caused a defensive war, misinformation in the internet age.
Great, Mr. Olore. What about Mr. Mendoza's answer? Please share it to the class.
False rumors that target specific individuals can have major consequences. These individuals may be harassed on social media and targeted by insults and threats that sometimes have real-life impacts. We must never rely only on non-validated information circulating on social media to decide that a person is guilty.
Thank you, Mr. Mendoza. The long-term and short-term effects are the fake news makes people get easily fooled by a mere information they saw online. They just easily react without knowing the whole situation. It may also lead to embarrassment once they shared false information. It may affect his or her image and reputation, and some people may never trust them again. Now, let's move on to the fourth question. Mr. Paris Rainier, how does social media affect your personal life?
Some people are addicted on social media as a result of it. Individuals and their lives are greatly influenced by social media, although some of the effects are positive. Social media has been shown to have a negative influence on our mood and stress levels.
Yes, Mr. Olore, share to the class your thought in the fourth question.
Social media has impacted my life in both positive and negative ways. Social media has been very helpful to me because it's informative. It also connects me to my family and friends across the world. I make new friends on social media. It makes me understand more about other people, culture, and lives. I have learned many things which has truly helped me so much, but at the same time, it has impacted my life on some negative aspects because it's addictive. It also makes me compare myself to other I see on social media. I depend on social media so much and also cause self-absorption.
Thank you for your answers. Social media is indeed a great influencer, especially now that all of us are capable on using those platforms. We must know our limit on using those apps because we do not know what will be its impact once we click without thinking. Our last question is how social media affect the society as a whole. May I call on Mr. Soriano to hear your answer?
Since we're living on the 21st century, majority of the masses already acquired mobile phones or other gadgets. Social media is one of the fastest methods in spreading news worldwide. It can greatly affect the views and opinions of the person reading or watching the news.
Thank you, Mr. Soriano. How about you, Miss Solanoy? May I hear from you?
Different platforms under the new media affects how humanity, particularly youngsters, and how they perceive life. Additionally, the vast interaction of SOCMED users contribute to the rapid spread of information within the internet, which could either be true or misleading. Vines and memes are famous in today's generation, leading into posting several entertaining posts which may be believed by those incapable of determining what is true from a whole sarcasm. It is also used to influence users in promoting a positive outlook towards the latest issues and controversies, and inspire the users given that there are those who spread motivational and relevant information. Social media plays a role in entertaining the users, growing a certain business, and many more.
Very good, Miss Solanoy. People's views, opinions, recommendations, plans, and many other aspects of life have found a forum on social media. It also makes our world smaller because we can easily communicate with other people far away from us in just one click. It has many positive effects and we must never abuse its power to easily spread information, especially if it is false information. So that is all for today. Thank you for cooperating and listening. Goodbye, class.